guys, it's Robin, RsIslandCrafts. This is Talk to Me Tuesday for Tuesday, March 13th, 2018. I hope everyone's staying nice and warm and safe with all these nor'easters going on up north and across the country. It's a lot of snow you guys have been getting in such a little amount of time. I gotta say though, it makes some really beautiful pictures I've been seeing online and a lot of nice drone footage. I know ice on trees is very dangerous and all that snow is hard to deal with and dangerous, but from the top view with all those shiny trees, it's really beautiful. Alright, so this week I did get my one dishcloth done. I am halfway through a second one, so hopefully I will still have one next week. Then I've been fidgety. I haven't really been wanting to do too much. I haven't gotten deep into any projects that I can actually dig my teeth into and work hard and like get a quilt finished. So I've mostly been just putzing around. So it feels like I'm getting nothing accomplished, but I'm actually getting some work done. I went and worked on some more crumb quilts. Last time I had 9 done when I filmed, and then I have a cheat sheet, and then I did 17 more last Monday after filming, and then yesterday I did 22 more. So that gives me a total of 48 crumb blocks. They are 6.5 inches. I think I'm going to border all of them with 1.5 inches. I'm going to cut 2-inch sashing strips or border strips, and I'm going to border the entire block, and then I'm going to stick them together, so essentially there'll be about a 3-inch white space in between each of them. At least that's what I'm thinking for right now. We'll see how that goes. And anyone who's been following my 1/4 inch 9 block saga, I made some more 9 patches. This is a little hard to see, and the light is really blowing it out, but this is I believe it's a Riley Blake fabric, and it's an aqua with these little pinwheels. It kind of reminds me of beach ball fabric in the colors. So there's a light blue, there's an aqua, and a pink. So I made a few blocks with this, and this time around I just used some white fabric to do the offset squares. I actually made it to the right size. These are just a smidgen. I think they're about 1/8 of an inch shy of being the 14 inches that it would end up being if you were to sew 9 5-inch squares together. I had to move my needle over just one more click and do a scant 1/4 inch to get it. Now, I'm not really a big fan of the scant 1/4 inch because sometimes if you pick a fabric that's going to fray and it frays in the seam, if you don't quilt it really good, you can have a problem. Now, most of these, they look like they're going to be okay. I made sure everyone had enough seam. It's definitely more than 1/8. It's definitely just like a 1 thread of a scant 1/4. So they actually got finished. But Laurelyn said it's okay because she asked for a larger size than what she wanted, and then she's just going to trim everyone down to a manageable size for whatever she happens to need. So I made these 9 patches. So last time I made 7, and I made 7 more. So I'll be shipping out 14 of these to Canada tomorrow. And I'm also including just some leftover strips from the little bit of fabric. I was using fat quarters for a lot of it. So whatever was left, I'm sending that up to use for binding. So for scrappy quilts, and even if she wants to bind these quilts, the fabrics from the 9 patches can go into the binding. That's what I like to do with mine, at least. And then the only thing I decided to work on is, I'm calling this the Hearts Aflutter. This is the free pattern from Bejeweled Quilts by Barb. If you remember, she sent me this. She cut out the hearts on her AccuQuilt Go, and in a couple of spots there's these little slashes in the actual heart fabric in between where they two meet, and it's on every other section of hearts. I just went ahead and used some fusible and ironed it all down and left it there. I decided to do some hand quilting, and I went ahead and I hand quilted inside all the hearts. I've done some chunky hand quilting before where you use embroidery floss and make some really big stitches, but I've never done it with actual thread. For this, I found a burgundy red thread from Orofil that I had in my stash that went pretty well and matched the hearts. And I stitched the hearts down I stitched them down around the outside and then all the way, and also around the bottom of the inside, the center here. And apparently I also stitched on the inside of the hearts. So they're stitched down in 3 places. They're going to be perfectly fine. It's going to be a wall hanging. I'm not worried about any of those little notches. But I wanted to get some practice in on hand quilting. So this is the first time I've hand quilted using actual sewing thread. And they're what I'm calling rustic, and I think that's perfectly fine, because when you first start doing something, it takes a while to get your stitches small and even and nice. I always thought quilting stitches were supposed to blend in and you wouldn't be able to see them, but I really like how these stand out inside the hearts. I will probably still go ahead and I will echo around the inside and the outside of these hearts. I'm thinking maybe a couple rounds around the outside. I don't know what I'm going to do at the inside. I was thinking it might look nice with maybe some smaller hearts in there, or maybe a rose or something. I don't know. This is going to be one of those projects that I just putter with, and I pick it up when I feel like working on some handwork, and when an inspiration strikes me and I decide what I want to do. Every Sunday, Mom and Pop has a live stream they have on YouTube. It's on for a couple hours. It's on, I believe, like from 3 to 5, 5:36. Depends on how long it takes to work on a project. And I like to just have something like this in my hands so that I can chat with everyone in the thread and still do a little bit of stitching or knitting or something. So that's about all I did crafting-wise. Otherwise, we are rearranging some rooms around still. My daughter got a new bed for her house, so we're taking her old bed, and in the next room over, we gave that room to the cats. It's kind of a storage and a cat's bedroom. So we're going to take out a big old clunky wooden bed that's in there and put a nice little twin-size bed in there so they can lay on that, and they like to hide underneath it when there's a storm or something scary going on. So hopefully maybe that'll keep them out of my bed a little more often. But beyond that, that's about all I accomplished. I did, as I'm sitting here thinking, I did cast on that shawl that I talked about, but right now it's a lace shawl, so it's kind of bunched up, and it's hard to get it opened up to show all the stitches and everything and to show what it really is going to look like. So I think I'm going to keep that hidden from everyone for just a little bit longer until I can get a nice picture of it. Well, that's it for me this week. I hope everyone has some time to do a little bit of crafting this week. You know, because crafting really brings down the stress levels, and stress is bad, so I think you should take more time to craft. Hubby can cook dinner for the kids, right? You have a great week. We'll see you next week. Bye.